work with a federal informant. He went
A lot of people don't know this, but if you have the YouTube app on your phone, you could be using it to make up to $10,000.
He went especially hard on Meek since this was all a promotional campaign for his track called Trolls with Nicki Minaj, who had a previous intimate relationship with Meek. He then called out Future, who posted on Instagram, "I believe if you hang with a snitch, you a snitch, and deserve to expire." But Tekashi pointed out that Future hangs around people that 6ix9ine considers snitches. He then called out Snoop Dogg, exposing alleged paperwork of Snoop Dogg snitching in the 90s, and using a video of Suge Knight admitting that Snoop Dogg was a snitch as proof. 6ix9ine genuinely believes that any other rapper would do exactly what he did if they were in his situation. He doesn't like how rap fans and media pick and choose who can get away with snitching. But 6ix9ine seems to forget that him being a snitch is not the only reason why people may not like him. One main reason why rap fans don't like him is simply because he's annoying. Anytime someone tries way too hard for your attention, it looks desperate. 95% of rappers are getting your attention because of the songs they make or the creative ideas they share. Everything 6ix9ine does, from his IG posts to his lyrics, is comparing himself to others. Look what I have compared to him. Look at what I do compared to him. He gives off this try-hard, pick-me energy, and it just gets exhausting after a while. But in mid-2020, the internet was deprived of 6ix9ine antics for over a year, so this expose proved to be effective. Not only did he piss off all these rappers, but the music video for Trolls dropped at the end of the IG Live, which was another 30 million view and 24-hour debut. That song would go on to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, Tekashi and Nicki Minaj's first #1 hit.
Oh, fuck yeah! Didn't I tell you, man? Didn't I tell you, nigga? Fuck you, I can't be stopped, nigga!
But he couldn't stop there because he had an album to promote. 6ix9ine's enemies swore he couldn't go outside. He was only safe inside of his house. So he went to the dangerous south side of Chicago to prove them wrong. Before he showed up, he posted a video mocking Chirac rapper Lil Reese. 6ix9ine recreated a viral video where Reese was allegedly caught off guard, jumped, and then defecated on himself. People swore he was going to get himself killed for this. And when 6ix9ine was in Chicago, you could see at least 3 huge security guards watching around the corner. He was also seen at the mall absolutely swarmed with security. 6ix9ine would obviously be an idiot to walk around without security, and anyone trying to do something to him in public while he was around security would be just as stupid, especially considering his work with the federal government. But regardless, 6ix9ine's views skyrocketed and his enemies were embarrassed. Unfortunately, his album flopped. Tattletales dropped in September of 2020 and was projected to sell 150,000 first week, but it then went on to only do 50,000 first week. Rappers were clowning him in the comments. Trippie Redd famously laughed and mocked 6ix9ine for selling 50K. Then just last week in 2023, Trippie sold 50K with 22 features, including the biggest rappers in the music industry. But the only person who can really troll Tekashi is himself. He posted a video of him ripping down posters and passing out his album for free, begging people to listen to it. 6ix9ine fans immediately said that it's because he is blackballed from the industry, which is probably true. Anyone who associated with 6ix9ine would be risking their career and reputation. Artists, bloggers, playlist curators. He got no support from the music industry. Or maybe his music just isn't good. 6ix9ine's songs have sounded very similar since 2018. DaBaby and Gunna are known to be pretty repetitive, and it worked out for them for a while, but eventually, people get tired, especially when the odds are already stacked against you. Plus, a lot of the interest in his music was predicated on the drama and controversy it creates, rather than just simply how good the songs are. Tekashi just didn't bring anything new to the table with this album, and after this flop, he disappeared. His return in 2021 started with more beef. He pulled up on Meek Mill outside of the club in Miami.
Hey, this is security! This is security! Shut up! Shut up! Hey, you with a cop! And look, you tight! And you with police!
Again, all 6ix9ine was doing here was trying to prove that Meek Mill also walks around with security and is not as gangster as he portrays himself to be. But 6ix9ine has nothing to lose because everyone already knows that he isn't gangster. Meek made himself look even worse when he claimed that he almost smoked 6ix9ine, when in the video he very clearly was not going to do anything. Instead, after 6ix9ine left, he started yelling at the security saying that they were trying to get him in trouble.
What y'all trying to get me in trouble? Huh?
Just like the Chicago incident, nobody blamed Meek for not doing anything. Him and 6ix9ine were around 15 bodyguards and cops. All Tekashi proved was that Meek is protecting himself and his freedom. He is being smart, but it still got people talking about 6ix9ine again and provided a short-term L for Meek. Then he took shots at the late rapper King Von by saying,
Look how happy he is. Look at this nigga on his shirt. Look, I think King Von thirsty. Look, yo, drink that. I'm gonna pee on you, nigga. You nigga born rushed and pissed, nigga. I'm like cat rat, nigga.
he even DM'd King Von's sister a picture of Von's body after the autopsy. Fans were disgusted at this evil behavior. However, King Von, Lil Durk, and their fans would famously scream that they were smoking Tuka, and would constantly make fun of Tuka, who was a 15-year-old boy from Chicago who got shot at the bus stop. 6ix9ine was wondering why people would praise Von for the same they hated 6ix9ine for, and he did have a point. People were agreeing with him, but it still seemed random for 6ix9ine to just attack the late King Von. He looked extremely desperate for attention, especially when you consider that all of this happened after a 6-month hiatus conveniently surrounding the release of his song Zaza. Then once he gets his attention, promotes his song, he disappears again for a few minutes. Noticing a pattern here? However, in 2022 we saw a different side of 6ix9ine when he and Steve Will Do It started hanging out. They had been friends for a while now, but the only time fans saw 6ix9ine in 2022 was in Steve's vlogs. In those vlogs, he was Danny, meaning he didn't portray any character. He was kind, funny, and appreciated by Steve's audience. This was the first time we ever saw who 6ix9ine truly was. They were giving away money to underprivileged communities and doing philanthropic work. It seemed like he might pursue a second career as a content creator, or maybe he was finally done with his rap beefs, but we were wrong, because he portrayed Steve for more short-term clout. 6ix9ine tricked Steve into doing a video collaboration with a young man named Perkio. Perkio was going viral for looking exactly like Lil Durk. Durk even supported him and brought him on stage at one of his concerts. Steve trusted 6ix9ine and thought that Perkio was a paid actor. When he got there, Tekashi pressed Perkio and forced him to wear a jacket with King Von on the back, trying to again stir up some drama with Lil Durk. Conveniently, 6ix9ine was releasing a song and NFT project called Gene at this time, which is why he randomly started creating beefs again. Steve went on an apology tour on various podcasts because people blamed him for accelerating a dangerous rap beef. And even though Steve was taken advantage of, he apologized. He even gifted Perkio with $20K, and 6ix9ine got what he wanted yet again. But something happened recently that has worked in Tekashi's favor. Currently, Young Thug and his label YSL are facing a major racketeering case, similar to the one that 6ix9ine and 9 Trey were facing just 3 years ago. YSL is basically facing every charge from armed robbery to murder. 26 members of the label were arrested in May of 2020. One of those members was Sergio Kitchens, aka Gunna, who is known as a close affiliate to Young Thug and top-ranking member of YSL. Gunna took a plea deal, which is essentially an admission of guilt in order to get out of jail early. In open court, he said the following.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You not admitted to your crime. You just told the court that YSL's a gang. So now you just up your man's defense. You not owning up to your case, nigga. You a fucking rap, nigga. That's it, nigga.
Then Tekashi pointed out how no rappers are publicly trashing Gunna because he is well respected and they like his music, but they were totally fine with making fun of Tekashi, which is true. Rappers, blogs, media outlets, none of them have really blatantly said that they don't support Gunna anymore. YSL co-founder Mondo shared his thoughts about Gunna.
You told the police saying that you the main artist, brother. You the main artist, my brother. Cap down to myself. When you know this a game, and on top of that, you got caught with something and it wasn't yours. Who was it? Who doing that? Who doing that? That's why you can have nothing. Your shit gonna get dropped, brother. You know that, bro. What the hell? You panic.
The funny thing is, 6ix9ine was right. The general public does not care. The whole sentiment online is that people will still support Gunna's music regardless of what happened. 6ix9ine has successfully convinced people that these rappers are maybe not as gangster as they say they are. This YSL case, along with the unsettling numbers of artists who have died in the past few years, fans are doubling down on not wanting their favorite rappers to be gangsters. They want them to be artists. They want them to make music, be safe, and live a good life. But I don't think that rap fans realizing this has helped 6ix9ine's career. When Lil TJ got shot, 6ix9ine laughed at him. When PNB Rock got shot, 6ix9ine made fun of him. If something bad happens to any other rapper, he feels obligated and justified to point and laugh because that didn't happen to him. Why? Because he knows that people would do the same if he got shot. If 6ix9ine was taken out, nobody would be surprised. A lot of people wouldn't even have remorse considering how many people he has taunted. He is too far gone now. But when 21 Savage spoke about 6ix9ine, it made me realize why he isn't dead.
Even if I seen him, I don't got no intention to do nothing to you. You just a rat. You go your way, I go my way. You don't mean to smoke. Just cause you call a nigga a rat, that don't mean you gotta kill him when you see him. That's just like saying any nigga you call a bitch, you gotta kill him. If you see a fan on the internet commenting shit and you say, man, shut your little weird ass up. Or when I see you, I gotta do something to you. That ain't how that goes. You could feel a type of way about a nigga and a nigga go that way and you go your way.
A lot of the rappers that clowned on Tekashi don't necessarily want him dead. Maybe they just don't like him. Maybe he was an easy target for some jokes. In most cases, it was Tekashi who escalated these beefs. And the more you think about it, it seems like 6ix9ine is the one who cares the most about what other people think. And all these other rappers are usually just minding their own business. But let's be honest, anyone who would attempt at 6ix9ine would never be able to beat the case. And is that guy really worth throwing your life away for? No. And 6ix9ine knows this. So he's gonna keep up his antics, and most likely, nobody's gonna do anything.
Once you meet with a TurboTax expert who will do your taxes for you, feel free to do no taxes.
Now to a developing story out of Philadelphia's Somerdale neighborhood today. A 15-year-old boy was shot several times over in the 6100 block of Algon Avenue just after noon today. He did not survive. Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson has been following this investigation. She's joining us now live from Somerdale. And Becca, this has been evolving all afternoon.
Our last inning, you had made some comments about NBA Youngboy,
No,
which you then had to circle back on.
yeah, that shit blew up, and they was making it seem like I was telling them some shit. And it was like, that's never gonna be no, oh, they cool or whatever.
Yeah, but Vaughn was also the aggressor,
Vaughn was
and you
the
gotta
aggressor.
you gotta put that into the equation.
But Vaughn was the aggressor for things that people don't know. Like, I personally know shit that the internet don't know, but everything ain't from the internet.
Okay.
When I
We'll
first
talk
got
about
out,
that,
when
yeah.
I first got out of jail, you know what I'm saying? Like, I supposed to not like Young Boy because I was with a female that he fucked with, and Vaughn calls me. Like, my homies can vouch for me, but he called me from the Just Blow phone, and Young Boy supposed to call him and told him, oh yeah, yo homie over there with my bitch, I'm finna send some niggas over there to shoot the crib up. Talking about me, I ain't been out of jail for 2-3 weeks, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really, so I'm damn. Then Vaughn called me concerned, I swear to God. He called me concerned, but man, where you at? You was home or something? He walked off. He man, this bitch ass nigga just called and said everywhere else. So Young Boy been doing shit behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, picking with people so to his fans, he's just like, oh, like, that's Young Boy, we love him, he don't do no wrong, but he's doing little shit. So you can't just say Vaughn the aggressor.
Well, I meant that particular night.
Yeah, with the club, but
That particular night.
people don't know about that situation either. It's a lot of stories saying Quando was an Asian DM after he was just with Vaughn and videos and buddy treatment.
I see the studio picture of Vaughn hanging out with Young Boy's baby mother.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of this shit, man, like, it just gets frustrating to watch it. You once said something to the effect of NBA YoungBoy, like, I threatened to send someone to shoot up a crib, and they're like, "Oh, you're telling on NBA YoungBoy," and you actually responded, you said, "Ain't nobody saved me from nothing, and ain't nobody send no one to do shit to me." I'm just saying, Shorty, you playing crazy, saying shit behind the scenes. He ain't saying shit to do with shit, but LLKV, I worded that shit wrong.
Oh, wrong that came wrong. Where I was
Wrong,
going.
wrong.
Yeah, because they made it seem like, you know, like that's why I told him it was just like it was me basically. They was trying to make Vaughn seem like the bad guy and shit, so it was just like me, like, oh no, dude be picking with people. So this is the whole situation. Allegedly this happened and this was said and this was that. Oh, allegations still. They don't know, but they was like, oh, that nigga ain't, the police ain't gonna talk to him. Look at him, mention none of that.
No one got sent to your house.
Nobody know what state we was in, what city. All that matter, like, you know what I'm saying? The feds came knocking on his door. Was, oh, we heard that you was that's different. You know what I'm saying? But they just, I don't got no flaws on my record. Oh, like, you feel me? So people want to try to use, oh shit, we finally got something on him. He told him no nigga. That shit, that's why I don't be talking about Vaughn and shit in interviews and shit on there, because I say everything that I have to say. So it's like, with that situation though, I don't even feel like, I ain't know, like I said again, I don't know.
Every night at Wawa is a night for something new, like the savory French onion burger, the tender...
A 3-day-long standoff in Los Angeles has come to a tragic end. The whole thing began just after 2:30 Friday afternoon, when sheriff's deputies were called about a man allegedly shooting at pedestrians on Main Lane. Once deputies arrived, the suspect allegedly started shooting at them, which led to both sides firing. That's when police say the suspect ran into a nearby home and stayed there until Sunday, not budging for other authorities who tried forcing him out. Even Santa wished for it.
It was just kind of awkward that they haven't got this guy out of the house yet. But I hope they get him out. I hope he's okay. I hope we can get help. We want the best for everybody.
One woman was taken to a nearby hospital after suffering an injury during the incident, but it was not said to be a shooting-related injury. When it was all over, officials said the suspect died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
At this time, our department is conducting an extensive investigation into this incident. We are currently working on top of the investigation on a reunification plan to repopulate residents that are displaced into the area.
As for why it took so long for authorities to get the situation under control, they say since the suspect posed an extreme threat, it forced them to slow down their operations. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Stephanie Arts.
Did you leave?
academics went off on Metro voting because Metro asked to not be posted on that page.
Can you request such a thing?
Well, yeah, right, but honestly,
Tell me what and what I can't.
I hear it.
Get off of my page, you sensitive little bitch. You too sensitive.
big ass, man.
And your sniffles when you come to my fucking page. Where the fucking animals and the ruthless niggas be in the comment section. They comment on everything. They make fat jokes about me every fucking day. I got to live with it.
Big ass.
This little fucking moist ass eyes nigga, he crying after a 2 mile per hour wind. Don't post me no more. Shut the fuck up.
Oh my god.
Keep your sensitive little teeny fingers out of my comments. So you must have been dashed up in Metro and trust me, I'm gonna shoot you. You ain't doing shit, and neither is future too.
Damn.
Yeah, you look right. Yeah, so here's the post, right? But here's the thing, though, is at the time Metro and Hit Boy, well, Hit Boy, like mentioned Metro, right? You feel me? In an unfavorable light. So then Metro posted this.
Where he said, "Hey, I'm politely asking one more time that you please not post me or anything to do with me on this page. Thanks."
Yeah, no, right, but yeah, right.
And then
Metro posted to stop playing with me before I turn into a song, and like he posted this after Hit Boy dissed him. So obviously academics posted this because this is like a direct shot at Hit Boy, right?
Yeah.
So now Metro hopped in the comment section saying stop playing with me. But here's the thing though, and here's what I didn't like about Axe Rant when he says a month ago you was crying about some miscellaneous things. Like Metro lost his mind, you feel me? Right? So right. Right. So the cry could have possibly been because he's dealing with his mother loss, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so that's the only part I didn't agree with, but the other parts of
you can't go to Fox News as a celebrity and be like, please Fox News or please TMZ, don't post me. You know what I mean?
You can't do a cease and desist.
Nah.
You can potentially sue for defamation, but usually big media pages are very careful how they phrase things. You know what I mean? They'll just be like, bro, I'm just reporting on the news. Sorry.
If somebody asked you guys to stop talking about them and not
Right. Wait, hold up. If somebody says, yo, listen, if I comment the news headline and become very viral news, don't talk about me still? No, right? It's your news,
My thing is, I'm gonna stop reporting news on you, but I'm gonna disrespect the hell out of you without saying your name. Because you ask me not to say your name, I'm gonna respect your wishes. But let's say it's like Yuri like, yo, don't report on me no more, don't say my name. I'm like, yo, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's a weirdo in a black and purple shirt. That's I'll say some shit like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say everything that describes you but your name. And then I'm still going to talk about you.
It's like the Streisand effect they talk about, which is you try to hide something, you tell people not to talk about it, they're going to talk about it even more. Now you become Lord Voldemort.
That's how
everyone's going to meme about you, be like, oh, don't talk about him, blah, blah, he's crazy. But it's I feel like, I don't know, Flocka brings up a good point with with Metro, with what Metro's been going through, but at the same time, you can't ask a huge media page to stop posting it. They're just not going to do it.
So nobody has ever told y'all not to talk about them and y'all kept doing it?
I don't really do content revolving around the news off No Jumper. It's usually about what I have going on or things that I find interesting.
No, a dude from New York called Nas BK, and he told me, yo,
the one that was recently arrested
for murder.
No, sorry. Nas Blicky.
Okay,
sorry. Nas Blicky told me, right?
Wasn't he arrested for murder?
I think he was arrested for conspiracy some shit, right?
Conspiracy for murder?
I think so, right? No, right? But and he got shot, and I did a full breakdown, full coverage, and he and hopped in my in IG DMs crying about it, right? Feel me? And I said, bro, listen, and I ain't picking sides because whatever y'all got going on in New York, I could give a fuck about it, feel me? But I'm still gonna cover this shit, right? So yeah, bro, feel me? Can't nobody tell me not to cover the
in the hood, if somebody tell you to keep their name out of your mouth and you don't want to fight them, you keep their name
audio no.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll be with the bullshit. So once somebody say don't talk about them, I'm basically gonna. You might as well fight right there because I'm gonna talk about you.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
It's to me too. It's just like common decency. Like if I ask you not to talk about me, just don't fucking
see,
talk
with
about
women
me.
I respect her. The only time that ever happened to me, I was cracking mad jokes on Lil Mama, right?
Yeah.
Her brother hit me up and was like, "Yo," and really banged on me too on some New York like Crip shit. And he was like, "Yo, don't talk about my sister no more. I'm dead ass. You gonna see what she about? Whatever." The next fucking episode I was on, I was like, "Man, Lil Mama ain't shit. Fuck." Like,
Oh my God.
straight up, because
Yeah.
I didn't do it to disrespect her. The first time I was just making a joke, but the second time I did it because he came out his face.
Mhm.
Of course.
But now me and him cool.
But also in this situation with like I feel like rappers or something that Flacco might report on, the dude hits you up saying please don't report on it. It's like everyone does such a poor job of like keeping their shit secret. Everyone posts everything. Everyone like will do something crazy, sus or sketchy or whatever it is, and then post about it or even have some something out there that like can trace them back to this crime or whatever it is, and then they get mad when someone just puts it together easily. You know what I mean?
That's the other half of it, so that's a good point. If you don't want something to be a headline, don't even bring attention to it. Don't post it. Don't put the shit on your story.
Don't make a lyric about it.
You as a celebrity, you're going to be a headline. I like that. Like me and Flacco, we do social media. We be looking for shit to make headlines.
Does Act
That's just how it is.
Does Act often post Metro?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He could probably also have some sort of like he probably just don't fuck with him.
No.
Metro probably just don't fuck with Act. So he probably like don't he probably like, don't post about me if they just don't if he just don't fuck with him.
Bro, like those
Because he's not gonna hit the don't disrespect You're not gonna tell baller alert or shade. That's why I think it's more personal towards Act, and that's the difference when you're the face of your platform.
Yeah. Sheesh.
There's so much to protect in our lives. That's why nationwide is on your side.
I'll be honest. I mean, for me, my favorite project from Kenya Barris was Black A.
Yeah, that was good.
That was great.
That was a great piece. Yeah.
You know,
him and Rashida.
Yep, Rashida Jones.
Yeah, I had a show with Rashida.
Huh.
Angie Tribeca. That was on TBS. It was more like Naked Gun. Steve Carell.
Oh,
yeah, it was
really?
Steve Carell, Rashida Jones. Steve Carell produced it, and him and his wife Nancy Carell. They produced it, and it was Rashida, and myself, and Arthur Hayes, and Jerry Burns, and Andrea. Yeah, it was a great cast. It was so fun shooting that kind show, where everything's so literal. You'll see a woman be like, "Oh, that's a nice little number you got on." She turn around, it's a big number 7. She's like, "Why, thank you. I wear it every Saturday." Right? Yeah, I like corny shit like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, Black AF, I guess is someone who, finally got money recently, and like seeing someone else who kind of got money recently, like it so captures like some of the little moments, when his wife was drowning, he starts like taking off his jewelry, taking off his watch, and it's like you drowning.
Right. Real reactions, though. I'm coming. Hold on.
He said, what did he say? He said, yeah, I don't even think people who fly coach is humans anymore. It's like livestock. Like animals. You know what's so funny too is that, like, I talk about this all the time. Like, throughout most of my life, I've always followed coach, right? Mm-hmm. I used to always say, man, no matter how much money I get, I will never fly first class.
Me too.
It is a waste of money.
Me too.
You go to the same place. I can be uncomfortable for a couple hours. I'm not going to waste an extra $2,000-$3,000 on a flight. Once I start flying first class, you will not get me on I have not been on a coach seat in over 10 years.
So
I will cancel my trip if I have to fly coach.
I flew coach because where I was going was probably 45 minutes.
Right, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I did that, but anything long, I can't do.
Can't do it.
But I felt the same way. I was like, I don't care how much money I get. It just doesn't make sense. We're all going the same place.
Yes.
So why would I spend all that money? Why would I spend all that money sitting in first class? And then one day I was getting on the plane and I'm walking by first class, and a comedian friend of mine named Corey Holcomb, he was sitting up in first class, and Corey was like this, "Dion, what's up?" And I was like this, "Oh, hey, what's up, Corey?" And he was like this, "Oh, yeah, where you going?" I was like, to my seat. He was like, "What, first class seat?" I'm like, "Nah, it's back there." He was like, "You know you deserve better, right?" I don't know why that fucked with me. I just like this. "Thanks, Corey." And I went in the back. I looked out the window the whole 3 hours of the flight. I was just like, I do deserve. I deserve better. I think the next week I was like, I'm gonna buy me a first class ticket just to see. And I bought that shit and never looked back. But Corey was like, damn. He was like, damn, dog, you deserve better. I was like, damn. Bought a first class ticket the next day.
Never went back. Once you go first, or even business for that matter, because it's somewhat equivalent, you just never go back. You just never go back. And I know people look at this saying like, "Oh, well, these are two guys that are looking down on." No, it's not that.
Not looking down.
Not looking down. It's like the thing is that once you arrive, you are so happy to not fly coach. You are relaxed. The beds go flat. I usually sleep. Like I just flew back from New York a couple hours ago. I slept for 5 hours.
Yep, I like that. But
you're not sleeping on coach.
I will fly coach. I will. If if I have to go get to a show, I will go coach. I definitely will.
This one time, I always remember this. I flew from New York to LA on coach, and I fell asleep with my head on the seat, on the back of the seat, on the back of the seat of the other person's back of the seat, right? My forehead was literally on the person's seat. When I woke up, I had a red mark on my forehead and the skin peeled a couple days later. True story. Like, because the pressure of being on a seat for like 5 hours on your forehead, literally the skin peeled after a couple days.
That's crazy.
I gotta do better, man. I gotta make more money.
Like once you go first class, you be like, okay, this is cool. I got the right leg room, and then you start thinking like that. But like a lot of people, they'll be like, no, what's wrong with coach? It don't have nothing to do with that. I will fly coach if I have to. I definitely will. But I was talking to Puff one time, and not on no flex. I wasn't trying to flex, but we were working together. And he was telling me out the gate, he was like, man, spend your money on some stuff that make you comfortable. And when you spend money on things that make you comfortable, your mind isn't on the uncomfortable, which is taking up more time, in your mind when you could be thinking about ways to make money and ways to better yourself. If you're thinking about the uncomfortableness, he was like, that's what you need to do. He was like, man, get a driver, have someone do all the tedious shit in your life. So it frees up time so you can have more time to be creative, which made sense to me. He was like, man, driving in traffic is 2 hours, an hour there, hour back. He was like, you know how much I accomplished in 2 hours? He was like, if you can't, always take an Uber, get somebody to drive you. He was like, don't drive in traffic, pay people to clean your house, pay people to clean your car, fill it up. He was like, spend your money on that shit rather than spending your money on clothes and shoes and all that shit. It made sense to me. The more that you feel comfortable, the more you create and you feel better. Same thing with like even booking me like with shows and stuff. Well, I ain't gonna say really too much now, but back in the day, if you paid me less money but you gave me a week in Hawaii and you paid for that, I'm gonna take the less money because I like to be treated all inclusive. Like I'd rather have that because that's gonna give me peace of mind and that's gonna make me feel good or whatever. But a lot of people spend their money on a lot of material stuff or whatever. I'm not saying that I don't. I mean, I do, but I also try to hire people to handle every fucking thing in order for me to have money to create and write and play music and whatever else I want to do, you know. So I think that everybody should do that.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't cleaned my own house in probably 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I still clean my house because it's therapeutic, but sometimes like my housekeeper be like, stop it. And I'll be like, okay, all right. Like I still do it just to be doing it or whatever, but that's the goal. And people gonna hate and find hatred in anything you say and do, but this is real facts.
Yeah.
You want to spend your money on freeing up your time to think about making more money or being with your family or whatever it is. That's what that's the goal.
Yeah. I mean, and you especially said getting old is the goal. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. I mean, you're 51? I'm 49.
49.
My last year, my 40s.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, a lot of people look at us and be like, oh, they're old. They're, you know, nah, like this is actually like the prime. This is all the shit you've worked up to all your life and all the money you've stacked and all the businesses you built and all the people around you. This is when you get to kind of enjoy it, maybe slow down a little bit, or not even for slowing down, you're doing less of the shit you don't want to do,
right,
and more of the shit you do want to do.
Exactly. Like you're at an age now where nothing matters, man. But what matters is what you make matter. You know, like all that other shit used to. The majority of shit that people stress about 6 months later, they ain't even thinking about that shit.
Yeah.
It's like you have to understand what you're stressing about, not stress about it, and go there. Yo, that's just a moment in time, and if you can do something about it, fine. If you can't, then don't. But we at an age now, man, where we just like, look, dude, we don't want no stress. I'm all about being straight to the point. The more honest we are, the more time we save. If you being honest with me and I'm being honest with you, we can make a sound decision. Look, we both old as hell. We ain't got nobody. It don't take me all day to recognize sunshine. I think I like you, and I think you like me. Let's see where this goes. See what happens. Let's spend some time together. See if we like it. If we don't, get the fuck out of this situation and hurry up and find somebody else that we can goddamn be with. Like, no time wasted. We understand this. Let's go. That's how I feel, man.
Hate touching athlete's foot? Use Lotrimin Ultra No Touch. Cures with 1 week treatment.
All right, here we go. Today we have J-Bo from BMF. Welcome to Vlad TV.
What's going on with
Everything good, man. Everything good. Before we actually started the interview, we talked about how I was in Atlanta during one of BMF's big parties. You guys actually flew me out there, and we may or may not have been around each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was just saying that was quite an era. That was like something I'd never seen in my life.
Yeah, that was some crazy shit, man. We talking about the house in Latonia, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, the White House.
Exactly.
We call that the White House.
Exactly.
Nice spot.
Absolutely. Well, this is our first time here, so let's go ahead and start from the very beginning. So you were born and raised in St. Louis.
Yes, sir. Born and raised in St. Louis. From the north side. It's my hometown. That's what it is.
So what was St. Louis like in the 80s?
The 80s was, the crack era. St. Louis always been a rough city. In the 80s, my time, I was young, so a little kid, but I was right there. Everything was going on from the neighborhood that I grew up in. It was bad back then. Not quite how it is now, but St. Louis was a rough place to grow up in.
Well, originally you were mostly into sports, right?
Yeah, I played football, baseball. I tried to play some basketball, ran track. That's how I basically.
Two O'Hare Airport employees say the homeless population in the terminal is out of control. And tonight, they're calling for solutions because they don't feel safe.
Only on 2 Hour, Marissa Perlman reports on what they see in the overnight hours and what the city plans to do about it.
Some of the thousands of Chicago's homeless population seeking refuge from the cold inside O'Hare. Employees sent us these photos of people sleeping on heater vents, using the terminal to dry their clothes and trashing airport bathrooms.
It's out of control.
Those employees are Markeisha Chapman and Catherine Thompson, tasked with cleaning up the mess.
None of us feel safe.
They work overnight hours as custodians in Terminals 1 and 2, where they aren't always covered by security. They both say they've been harassed by the homeless community who sets up camp during their shift.
They'll come up behind you. This one man followed us last night
From the time we get here to the time we leave in the morning, they do it.
Their managers tell them to just be aware and call police, but police tell them they can't intervene unless they're physically touched.
They just tell us to be careful because it's out of their hands. Like, they can't do nothing.
They far exceed. Jessica Dubar with Haymarket Center, an organization that serves O'Hare's homeless community, says the numbers are increasing year to year. Haymarket encountered 618 new homeless people at O'Hare in 2022. That's up 53% from 2021, where they saw 431.
I think a lot of people are going to ask, you know, why can't they go to a homeless shelter? Why are they sleeping at O'Hare instead?
They're full. The shelters are full. The city operates more than 3,000 shelter beds at 50 facilities. Dubar says there are simply not enough beds to meet the growing need.
A lot of folks don't end up at the airport because that's their, sort of goal. That it's sometimes the last option that they have.
The city now hoping $60 million in federal funding to fight homelessness will help. That money, announced Thursday, will go directly to expanding placement services here in the city. Now, Haymarket Center, O'Hare, and the city, in respective statements, all agree. They say homelessness here in Chicago is not illegal, and the terminal space outside of
I just looked at you. I know you don't like to smoke. Whew.
Yeah, screw.
Me and this fighter are partners for life. You got.
Hear about the Hollywood Botox doctor who blew his fortune on a mansion and went into bankruptcy. Nope, that's it. Nope. A celebrity Botox doctor blew his budget on a mansion. Now he's facing bankruptcy. I have to subscribe to the full story. Okay. You lost me. Oh, man, is this the whole story? So you're telling me on the Wall Street Journal they give me this and make me pay for the extra paragraph? Man, you got me fucked up. Oh, this is the one he bought. It is? Okay. Well, let's see. Sort of newest. Yeah, this is the developer bought it. So that Botox guy, based on that story, tried to be like a multi-million mega mansion builder, and he was unable to sell it, from what I understand. So now he's bankrupt. Okay, this is the one.
1,000 square feet in both 6 bedrooms and baths.
This guy sounds like Guy Fieri with a cold.
Walls, a
a wellness spa fully equipped with a cryo chamber and sensory deprivation tank, a movie theater, bar and entertainment lounge,
Oh, wow.
wine cellar, and a double-decker glass bottom pool.
Oh,
Live life
jeez.
in God mode. Every facet controlled with the touch of a
What does that mean? Why are you trying to throw around a gamer term if you've never touched a video game in your life? Live life in God mode? But you telling me if you buy this mansion, you become invincible? Fuck you talking about, man? You're not one of us.
facet controlled with the
Goddamn
touch of a
liar.
button. Follow me up this grand staircase that's going to lead you in the home. I call this stairway to heaven. Why?
What?
Because when you get up here, all your dreams come
Well,
true.
this is the worst salesman ever.
You have this beautiful water feature.
I call this little bad boy the colonoscopy.
Whatever it is, it looks
Because it's gonna fuck your ass with beauty.
lights up, and then boom. But it's a double-decker, see-through glass bottom pool. You can see down with the next pool under and the next deck under. But what's even cooler, you can see right up. You have this really great
That is pretty cool.
pool, and it also is a great Baja shelf. So if you want to lay in it, or you have young kids that are here, they can play right in this little pool. But what I really dig about this,
That's not really a pool. How deep is that? That's just like sitting in like a puddle that accumulates by a curb after a light rainfall. Not even a kid can really do much in there. So I just like sit in it all sad and shit. Does it go deeper than I'm led to believe here? No fucking shot. I can see like right to the bottom. That's like the depth of this man's shoes, maybe.
Fireplace bifurcates the formal living room to the formal dining room.
What was that? Bifurcates?
This formal dining room is all
Pardon me, I'm not rich enough to know that word. What? Bifurcates? I can gather from context clues what it most likely means, but let's see. Divide into two branches or forks. Bifurcate. Damn, I've never heard that.
So this is another favorite feature of mine. It is called the Top Brewer. It retails for about $15.
What is it a sink? What is this?
Takes coffee beans, grinds them fresh. With the touch of the button, you have 16 beverages from espresso,
Holy shit.
cappuccino, any type of milk, and then also sparkling waters and cold beverages.
Oh, can you show it in action? That sounds pretty cool. What? I hate coffee, but what a cool little idea.
Outdoor dining. This is a fabulous setting for a dinner party, right off of the kitchen, just off the family room. You have everything flowing in this house, which is really what California living is about.
Are those outdoor? Is that conducive to being outdoor furniture? It just looks like cloth. Well, it doesn't really rain in California, does it? So I guess you don't really need to worry about it. I guess that makes sense then.
I've been utilizing going for a while. I am an older athlete. So the more vitamins I take, the more it's going to help my recovery and allow me to perform at my best.
Here's John Light's Annie Brown shares the heartwarming story.
The pizza delivery driver was at West Euclid Avenue when he saw an elderly woman that fell outside. Quickly went to her rescue. 90-year-old Annie Goshen went outside to pick flowers when trying to pick them and then she fell. She also had scissors in her hand and she could have fallen on the scissors if Goshen fell hitting this rock and couldn't get back up. The good news, her daughter PJ says a pizza delivery driver with a kind heart named Joey wasn't too far away.
It restored my faith in humanity.
Ring video provided by Goshen's family shows the driver walking outside the home after she fell outside. Not only that, he called 911 as the 90-year-old was in pain and stayed by her side until paramedics arrived.
So we just held her hand and they talked and they hugged and I was just very touched.
The fall resulted in a fracture and bruising that left Goshen at an area hospital overnight. Her family fears what could have happened.
Had we not been there, no telling how long she would have laid there because where the house is here, we live on a dead-end street, and so I don't think anybody could have seen her.
Now the 90-year-old who suffers from dementia has one request.
I'd like to see her again. Thank you so much.
Goshen's family tell me they hope the nice gesture will inspire others to also help someone in need. In Tampa, Annie Mac, 8 on your side.
Utah. What's going on in Utah? White guys snagging white women. Sheesh.
A second tragic loss, but some closure tonight for the Salgado family. Missing since 2021.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, I'm out front.
You're out front?
Yeah.
Alright. Kevin's been acting crazy.
Why?
I don't know. He's stupid.
Okay. Indiana said 650. Be about 675 in the account right now. I just need to talk this through. It's been a crazy day. Found the water. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna text my boss right now. Tell her I can't come in tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, first thing, we're gonna go down to the parking people. Get that figured out. Come home here, I'll fix the registration. I'll call AAA to come put a battery in it. Get registration on that.
You can tell them to do that down so you can drive that car instead of the other car.
Good idea. Good idea. I mean, that's why I talked things through. Okay? I also got punched in my face.
No, but we have to worry about something that's more pressing.
violation of my probation, traveling without a license. I can go back to jail. No, like seriously. They did that. So it's a huge possibility you have to go back to jail. So just worry about that. So that's that bullshit. Oh, I forgot that started. I'll finish this game with Darius and then I'll pause it.
Oh my god.
Hey, don't worry about it. Who you calling? Oh, dude.
Hi, I'm calling to ask about the price of a new battery to be installed in my truck and to see if someone could come out and do it tonight. I can't find my card at the moment. Could you look up in any other way? Holly, Holly. Little, Little. Philadelphia, PA. 19131.
What?
It's your green card lock.
Thanks for the thing too.
I know it's not a hybrid. What were the other two?
Okay. So it would be a 2.5 or the 3.0 list. Do you know if it's a B4 or B6?
I think it's only a B4. It's not a B6. B6 is like the faster one, right? Yeah, it's a small. Okay, and that's okay.
Would you like me to then schedule the cover test for you? Tonight? For tonight? Okay, very good. And the batteries are typically AAA. Our 3-year warranty, that's a full warranty, that's the batteries. And the battery warranty is usually 46. Very long-term batteries. What is the phone number you would like me to have the driver reach out?
717 476 Sure, yes please. I actually just renewed it today, so I have the temporary. Yeah, I have my registration. Okay. Yeah, and I have it. Okay, yeah, it's at our home address in the back of the house in the alley. Okay. Alright, thanks so much. And you can pay with a debit card?
Yes, debit card, credit card, cash or check.
Okay. No, not today. No, thank you. No, I think that's everything. Thanks so much.
Did y'all just see that? Habit. Hey. What, Holly? What they say?
They're coming. 189.
Oh, it's cheaper. They said they need cash?
Nope, you can pay with a debit card.
Swanky. Wait, there's rails over there? Hiding in the bush. 9 people left. Come on, guys. Do you think I can? mopping niggas up. Fuck you mean? That was a crazy ass victory. You see the way I just ended that shit? Bro, you want no smoke? I headshotted ball and then sniped him and then I win. Game over. I haven't played in so long. Easy.
Writing down the reading I'm doing at church on Thursday. One of the readings. A reading and the first letter at the same time. Beloved, see what love the Father has bestowed on us, that we may be called children of God. Yes, so we are. The reason the world does not know us is that it did not know Him. Beloved, we are God's children now. What we shall be has not yet been revealed. We do know that when it is revealed, we shall be like Him, for we shall see Him as He is. The word of the Lord. Am I being too mysterious? How should I read it? You got mysterious. I don't want to be mysterious.
Oh, little bitch. It is so hot. Now what? Oh, don't think about that. Think about something else.
You should not leave Philadelphia.
Listen.
Like, you shouldn't go home to the funeral, probably.
No shit, I should have been there. You said it's the 400 years. Shut up, bitch.
Yes, this is good. But it's way more than we consider. What you really need to...
New tonight, 25 suspects in Gwinnett County. Police have now linked them to two gangs known as the Drug Race and 56 gang. They have all been indicted and arrested, investigating. So accused the suspects of violent crimes and racketeering across the country. Yeah, right now they're not.
Ooh, I thought I would have had to come get you.
Here's a bold of details of this new law investigation.
I ain't gotta do that. How long till they come? Right.
Other agencies knew the shootings here along Boggs Road and Blue appear to be linked to two rival gangs, Blitz and 56 gang. Though many of the alleged gang members are now locked up, Ganesh Valle with Gwinnett County Police says officers are still looking for additional suspects. We're glad that we were able to get as many indictments. We still have one outstanding. 22-year-old Carly Kelly from the case. Valle says Kelly is suspected of felony crime related to gang activity. Charges including an indictment are on robbery, carjacking, aggravated assault, felony murder, and more. Back in December, Valle says the case turned into a retail investigation. The grand jury returned a $250,000 indictment, taking 25 arrests off the street and letting the community feel safer. We are hoping that the initiative with the gun crime unit and gangs is going down. Valle says if anyone knows anything about where Terry Kelly is, your urge.
He's here.
That's what I thought. I thought I heard something else fast.
That was really fast. I thought she said an hour. He's out front. Putting it in.
Okay.
Good to go. Hold it back 10 minutes. Put it in.
Okay.
Debit card?
Sure.
Should we stand up and wait for them?
You don't shoot when you're dead. He's just doing the battery. It takes 5 minutes. Smoke a cigarette. You'll be alright.
Ben's Warehouse, 15 years old, your day, your style. Love the way you love.
F45 is group fitness with the attention of a personal trainer. It's the workout you've always wanted, with the team you didn't know you needed.
Well, shoplifting continues to be a big problem across the city, from big retail stores to mom and pops.
And while many businesses are adding security and locking up merchandise, Lisa Evers shows us how one business in Manhattan is taking a more unique approach.
Some of the signs on the front door of the Elm Pharmacy and Wellness Store on 7th Avenue in Greenwich Village have pictures of alleged shoplifters and the word thief, a sharp contrast to the mellow, organic vibe inside. But Ken, the owner, tells us they're a way of letting the sticky-fingered suspects know their actions are being recorded on multiple video surveillance cameras and that they are not welcome inside.
Just trying something different, hoping that it makes people think twice before they walk in here. Maybe they'll think, oh, I don't want my picture in the window. That's really the thinking behind it.
The shoplifting concerns are part of a growing trend in the city. A New York Post analysis of police data found that shoplifting complaints during 2022 were up by 45% over 2021. The NYPD made more than 22,000 arrests last year, but due to current laws, many of those arrested were released back on the streets to do it again. Shoppers have had enough too.
Horrible. It's horrible. I'm not that surprised, but yeah, a little bit weird to see it on the door, I guess. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I get robbed one day, but this city is very dangerous.
In the Elm Pharmacy stockroom, the owners posted a wall of shame to make employees aware of who they should keep an eye on. He said they were all seen on surveillance video taking items without paying for them. And
said a lot of shit. Like the right quotes of shit that I said only to you because I fucking trusted you. Man, I did this weekend. Yes, you did. And why do you think multiple people who are in the Discord just made it up?
I mean, I don't know, like literally, I talked about it in the Discord, but I didn't say any quotes.
Yeah, you did. Well, then how the fuck did people know?
Bro, like, who else did you talk to?
I mean, I understand you want to ask follow-up questions instead of addressing the fact that you're a fucking snake, but...
Bro, I didn't say that. Like, I'm serious.
Well, it's pretty crazy that you're just lying more right now.
I like literally, I don't... if I would have said it, like why did I say that?
No, you did. You said a bunch of shit talking about how much people get paid and shit, bro.
No, I didn't do that. That's complete cap. Like seriously, like we could go in the Discord and talk to those people.
I would love that. I would love to be proven wrong because the fact that I trusted you this much and that I just had all this shit revealed.
I don't even know what people get paid.
Maybe it's okay, but I mean, why do I have random people in the Discord telling me, oh, so and so said this, and it's like something that I guarantee somebody said to you or that you've heard around the office, but that you never obviously should have fucking spoke on?
Nah, we could go in there and like, cause I didn't say that shit. Like seriously.
Was there anyone else like pretending to be in there, to be you in there or something?
I mean, you could look through the entire chat line and I didn't say anything like that.
Okay, well maybe we can do like a full analysis of it, but I think I get the gist from talking
Because I did not say that. I did not. I'm saying, if I did, I would have told you when you asked me before.
No, you lied to me to my fucking face out there right in my own office.
No, dude, I didn't.
You did.
If I did, I would have said something.
Well, then there's a bunch of people in the Discord who are tragically misled, and some of them are people that I trust.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Mikey's in the Discord. Like, did I say?
It feels kind of crazy that all these people would just like try to frame it. You know, it seems a little bit more likely to just talking about it.
I mean, there's been a lot of like. I'm not trying to throw nobody under the bus, but I didn't say like what you said, like that shit. I didn't say that. I didn't. Like, I would have told you.
I mean, it's gonna take you providing the entire Discord chat and pointing out line by line things that you didn't say that I'm being told by multiple people that did say.
I can show you the entire chat. I didn't say that shit.
I honestly think, at least for now, maybe we come to the bottom of this at some point, but it's probably better than you said. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not expect this to be a narrative that was taking place today, but we got to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And being told by multiple people that you did so.
I can show you the entire chat. I didn't say that shit.
I honestly think, at least for now, maybe we can come to the bottom of this at some point, but it's probably better than you said. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you lied to me, Lush.
About what?
What I just tried to talk to you about in the hall?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing.
Well, I got confirmation from a bunch of different people.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. And it looks funnier the more you lie.
I really like, when?
I mean, how many people do I need to have fucking confirm it before it's like crazy shit? Like, bro, I've talked to you about talking in the fucking Discord and saying crazy shit, but I never knew that you were this fucking loony with it, bro. Hey, can we turn the video up? Can I hear it? You're what, sorry?
Nah, like, I didn't say it.
No, you said a lot of shit. Like the right quotes of shit that I said only to you because I fucking trusted you. This weekend. Yes, you did. And why do you think multiple people who are in the Discord just made it up?
I mean, I don't know, like literally, I talked about it in the Discord, but I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you did. Well, then how the fuck did you know?
Bro, like, who else is you talking about?
I'm stay chronic, no Dr. Dre.
Y'all dipping into any race?
Okay, back to the chat if you fucking with that verse.
So,
Talk to the super chats real quick.
try to. Yeah, hell yeah. I know the black one, but. What we on, Adam?
Lush, you lied to me.
What?
You lied to me, Lush.
About what?
What I just tried to talk to you about in the hall?
Nah.
$199.
Nah.
Yeah.
I didn't say.
Okay, that's handled.
this weekend. Yes, you did. And why do you think multiple people who are in the Discord just made it up?
I mean, I don't know, like literally, I talked about it in the Discord, but I didn't say anything close.
Yeah, you did. Well, then how the fuck did you know?
Bro, like, who else did you talk to about that?
I mean, I understand you want to ask follow-up questions instead of addressing the fact that you're a fucking snake, but...
Bro, I didn't say that. Like, seriously.
Well, it's pretty crazy that you're just lying more right now.
I literally, I don't... If I would have said it, when did I say that?
No, you did. You said a bunch of shit. Talking about how much people get paid and shit, bro.
No, I didn't do that. That's complete cap. Like, seriously, we could go in the Discord and talk to those people.
I would love that. I would love to be proven wrong because the fact that I trusted you this much and that I've just had all this shit revealed
I
to
don't
me,
even know what people get paid.
Maybe it would take... Okay, but I mean, why do I have random people in the Discord telling me, oh, so-and-so said this, and it's like something that I guarantee somebody said to you or that you've heard around the office, but that you never obviously should have fucking spoke on?
Nah, we could go in there and, because I didn't say that shit. Seriously.
So is there anyone else pretending to be in there, to be you in there or something?
I mean, you could look through the entire chat log in there. I didn't say anything like that in there.
Okay, well maybe we can do a full analysis of it, but I think I get the gist from talking to everybody.
Because I did not say that, dude. I did not. I'm saying, if I did, I would have told you when you asked me before.
No, you lied to me to my fucking face out there right in my own office.
No, dude, I didn't.
You did.
If I did, I would have said something.
Well, then there's a bunch of people in the Discord who are tragically misled, and some of them are people that I trust.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Mikey's in the Discord. Did I say...
It feels kind of crazy that all these people would just, try to frame you, you know? It seems a little bit more likely that you're just talking to...
I mean, there's been a lot of, I'm not trying to throw nobody under the bus, but I didn't say, what you said, that shit. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't. I would have told you if I did.
I mean, it's gonna take you providing the entire Discord chat and pointing out line by line things that you didn't say that I'm being told by multiple people that you did say.
I can show you the entire chat. I didn't say that.
I honestly think, at least for now, maybe we can come to the bottom of this at some point, but it's probably better than you see. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not expect this to be a narrative that was taking place today, but we got to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm just super disappointed.
I didn't do that.
Okay. You guys can end the stream or whatever, but...
Nobody else is really in that shit, saying shit. So you got a history of being in that shit, and sometimes getting emotional or getting your feelings, and you probably building relationships with these fans and people that you think you know what I'm saying, you got a good rapport with, and it's really just not the fact. You feel me? So some of these fans that he's probably is hitting to are motherfuckers that, and you know them, we all know them, you feel me? It's only a handful of them that really take this shit serious, that's really dialed in on this shit, that has every bit of information, sometimes, and the majority times, more information than us. You feel me? These motherfuckers is booking talent. These niggas are so cold. So,
bro, I'm gonna tell you like this.
Okay.
Except the credit one, I'm having X-File detail.
Yeah.
For your filthy.
Scott Storch was a music producer who worked with icons like Beyonce, Long May She Reign, Justin Timberlake, 50 Cent, and Christina Aguilera. Scott Storch also blew, or rather impaled, over $30 million in 6 months. Storch was the producer behind some of music's biggest hits between 1999 and 2006, and in the process developed a costly addiction that would suck up all his earnings. Storch made $100 million over his career, but that money went fast. The hit producer filed for bankruptcy several times, having spent most of his money pretending his nose was a vacuum cleaner. He also got in trouble with Suge Knight. Scott Storch grew up in Long Island, New York. His father was a court reporter and his mother a singer. Storch came from a musical family. His uncle Jeremy founded soul rock band The Vagrants. When his parents divorced, a 10-year-old Storch moved to Florida with his mother. His high school was tough, and in the middle of his first year, Storch moved with his father to Cherry Hill, New Jersey. They had family nearby, including Storch's cousin, who introduced him to the world of music. Storch was soon producing his beats and breaking into the music scene. By 1991, he was the keyboard player for the well-known hip-hop group The Roots, and rose to stardom. He contributed to several Roots albums like Organics and Do You Want More? Despite his success with the band, Storch was sick of the band's packed tour schedule. He preferred being in the studio instead and decided to build a career in music production. As a producer, Storch worked with the top names in the industry. He'd already produced hits by The Roots before he worked with Dr. Dre on his hit Still Dre, where Storch played the piano that provided the catchy soul of the single. The hit skyrocketed Storch's career, which led to collaborations with 50 Cent, Chris Brown, Snoop Dogg. He saw himself as a chameleon and cared more about good music than the genre. Storch admitted he enjoyed the challenge of being pushed to work on styles that he hadn't done before. Storch produced hundreds of hit songs like Candy Shop by 50 Cent, Justin Timberlake's hit Cry Me a River, and Me, Myself, and I by Queen Beyonce. In 2005, Storch had produced over 80 tracks and was at the top of his game. He would sell each track for $100,000. Storch's biggest hit financially was the song Lean Back that he recorded with Fat Joe's Terror Squad. The song didn't just make him a massive amount of cash, but also proved his talent as a songwriter. In 2006, he won the ASCAP Songwriter of the Year Award. With all of his success, it was time for Storch to create his record label, which he named Storch Music Company, and opened a music production company called Tough Jew Productions LLC. He was a top award-winning music producer, but his issues with nose beards were growing out of control. And soon, his career, much like his septum, would begin to crumble. Storch's lifestyle completely changed when he became rich and famous. He amassed an elaborate car collection with 20 high-end luxury cars costing between $250,000 and $700,000 each. He would wake up, indulge in his powdery habit, and go to the car dealership. Storch had a Bentley, Ferrari, Maybach, Bugatti Veyron, Lamborghini, and a limited edition McLaren SLR. He bought at least 10 of his vehicles while under the influence. In 2005, he dated heiress and socialite Paris Hilton. Storch blamed her for introducing him to the party scene, which later absorbed his life. We know you're like, Paris Hilton, the socialite? There's no way someone of her solid moral character would ever introduce a susceptible young man into that kind of party scene. We were just as shocked to hear it, but this is straight from the man himself. The couple worked on Hilton's debut album, Paris, together. They met in Miami and spent most of their time together in the studio, where they became very close. Life with Hilton was unlike anything Storch had experienced before. They were hounded by paparazzi, would take trips to exotic places, and partied hard. The pressure of working with such a high-profile celebrity backfired on the producer, and the pair broke up. Storch took a break from music, and his newly elevated social status meant everyone knew who he was. After his split with Hilton, he was linked to her assistant at the time, Kim Kardashian, someone who was way less game-hungry. In 2006, Storch bought his $10.5 million mansion on Miami's exclusive Palm Island. It was a waterfront mansion with 9 bedrooms, an indoor pool, a movie theater, a fitness center, a spa, and a game room. In total, the property was a whopping 30,000 square feet. He parked his $20 million yacht, which had 4 bedrooms, in front of his extravagant house. Storch also loved expensive jewelry and owned watches costing $100,000, necklaces, and many more shiny displays of excessive wealth. He treated his girlfriends to millions of dollars of diamonds and wore a $7 million 32-carat canary yellow diamond ring on his left index finger. When he traveled, he preferred to take his private jet and would drop $250,000 each way to bring his entire entourage on vacation to the French Riviera. Storch dropped over $250,000 a month on partying alone. Well, not alone like he was alone, because that would be weird, but alone as in just on parties. For Scott's
Booking.com. I'm going to somewhere.
Storch was in the house every night, and it cost $8,000. By 2006, Storch's net worth hit $70 million. He should have been financially set for life, but the allure of the party scene and his love for luxury goods would be his downfall. He completely stopped working, and partying turned into his full-time job. Storch's Miami mansion was the perfect place to enjoy the lavish side of life. And while he spent huge amounts of money on extravagant things, nothing compared to what he put towards his nose candy. Storch's reputation was crumbling. He became unreliable. In 2007, actually made Janet Jackson wait 10 hours at the studio so that he could finish partying. The party stopped for no one, not even the least creepy Jackson. Artists were no longer interested in working with a music producer who had stopped prioritizing his work. Word got around, and Storch found himself with more party time than he expected. By June 2008, Storch was behind on his child support payments and failed to attend the hearing. At the time, he also owed the government $500,000 in property taxes on his lavish home. With his legal troubles mounting, Storch checked himself into a rehab center. While he was trying to get his life back on track, the bank repossessed his Palm Island home and sold it to Rockstar Energy drink founder Russell Weiner for $6.75 million, much less than Storch paid. While Storch's income might have slowed down, his spending did not. In 2009, he had blown through his $100 million fortune and had to declare bankruptcy. But the legal problems didn't stop. He leased a 2004 Bentley GT in February 2006, and the terms of the agreement stated he would return it in March 2008. Storch broke the lease term, and the Bentley's owners, the Atlas Leasing Company, claimed his actions cost them $65,000 in revenue. Police arrested Storch in Miami and charged him with grand theft auto, although they later dropped the charges. Aspiring singer Trina Ruber paid Storch to produce her album. When the time came to start recording, Storch wasn't. Let's just call it awake enough to get the job done. Ruberg had agreed to pay Storch $45,000 to produce 6 songs for her and paid $30,000 of that money up front. She sued him when he wasn't able to deliver. Storch accused former Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight of bullying him into handing over songwriter royalties for a portion of their work. Knight, currently serving his 28-year prison sentence, had collaborated with Music Royalty Consulting Inc. for the deal. Knight allegedly coerced Storch into signing over the royalties while under the influence of his favorite powdery substance, and made Storch fear for his safety due to Knight's intimidation and threats. According to legal papers, Knight forced Storch to participate in the transaction where Storch received a fraction of his music's worth. Knight dragged Storch to his office to sign the contract despite Storch being unrepresented and under the influence. Additionally, Knight took the majority of the nominal payments Storch received. Knight most likely knew that the hit producer was down on his luck, battling his nose gear problems and financial hardships. At the time, Storch's most valuable assets were the rights to future royalty payments for songs he had previously produced. Storch sold the publisher's share of his royalty rights for $2.3 million to Reservoir Media Management. He wasn't ripped off in the original agreement, as the royalties were worth the same amount. Instead of receiving $2.3 million for his separate songwriter's royalties, he was screwed over. Storch and Knight lived in the same gated community, giving Knight a front row seat to Storch's struggles. He took the producer from his home to the officers of MRCI for a meeting. After Storch signed over his writer's royalties, they gave him a $5,000 check, which Knight claimed more than half of. Storch received another check for $58,000, but Knight threatened and intimidated him into surrendering over half of it to Knight again. In total, MRCI paid Storch $429,306.20, but Knight allegedly bullied him out of over half of his earnings. Storch filed a lawsuit against MRCI, asking they return the writer's share of his royalties. Sounds like he got off easier than Vanilla Ice, who Knight allegedly dangled over a balcony for similar reasons. Real estate moguls Brad and Seth Cohen learned of Storch's downfall and wanted to help him get back on his feet. The businessmen earned their money through real estate and insurance holdings and signed $1 million deal with Storch, using their own money to fund Storch's comeback. Brad and Seth hoped he would use his connections in the industry and prove himself once again as a hit music producer. As part of the deal, the brothers paid him a weekly salary, provided him with a rental house in Parkland, Florida, and gave him a Rolls-Royce yacht. The terms of their agreement stated that if Storch failed a drug test or showed signs of falling back into his old party habits, they would take away the Rolls-Royce. The vehicle was under Scott Cohen's name, and when the Cohens discovered Storch was back to baking but only using flour, they wanted the car back. Scott feared it would be an insurance liability if Storch continued to drive it. The disagreement over the Rolls-Royce would lead the Cohens' relationship with Storch to dissolve. By June 2015, Storch filed for bankruptcy again, valuing his music company at $0, and in the filing stating he only earned $10,000 in 2014. The legal papers said he only had $3,600. Storch had $500 worth of clothing and a $3,000 watch. By that point, he only had $100 in cash. Storch worked on rebuilding his life and revamped his public image when he started Storch Labs, joining the green rush by entering the marijuana industry. He also started working in music again and was a part of hits by DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, Snoop Dogg, The Game, Chris Brown, French Montana, among others. The scene had changed dramatically since the height of his career. People stopped buying albums in the record store, and few owning physical CDs. Storch was contending with a much more saturated industry, where music was much more accessible, but not always good quality. However, Storch knew he could still be a pioneer in creating hit-making material.
In the opening scene, we're introduced to a well-known lawyer named Lauren Monroe. She appears to be assigned a case in which she's offered $1 million simply to defend a criminal. However, being an honest person, she politely declines, saying her conscience won't allow her to do so. Lauren is regarded as a lawyer who's more concerned with justice than with money. Next, we meet Lauren's younger brother named William Monroe, a politician aspiring to be the mayor of New York City. On the other hand, we're shown Lauren's father, Archer Monroe, a wealthy businessman who's currently facing difficulty breathing. He somehow manages to get into his car, but on the way back home, he passes away. Lauren is at a press conference when a news reporter informs her of the tragic news, leaving her in huge shock. In the next scene, Lauren, William, their mother Catherine, Lauren's husband Scott, and their daughter Claire are seen attending the funeral. After everything is wrapped up, the brother-sister duo has a chat where William mentions that their father was proud of her. They also discuss moving their mother to a location closer to them. Later, Lauren goes to her father's office and recalls how he used to teach her to play chess, relating it to the game of life. A week later, the Monroe family's attorney, Harold, announces the late Archer's will. According to it, Catherine is now the CEO of their company. William is provided with $20 million, while Lauren is given only $1 million.
Oh shit, sorry.
The remaining $50 million are to be donated to the police and medical schools. After announcing this, Harold approaches Lauren privately and then hands her a package, saying it was left to her by her father. Upon opening it, she discovers a pen drive and a pair of keys. She inserts the pen drive into her laptop, only to find a video of her father telling her that she must carry the truth to her grave. He apologizes for not being able to tell anyone about it when he was alive. After watching the video, a stunned Lauren walks into the woods, where she finds a surface with a lock that appears to be an entrance. She uses the key from the previous package to unlock it, only to discover stairs leading to a basement. Following this, Lauren musters the courage to walk down the bunker, despite the darkness. When she opens a door, she finds a man bound. She bravely checks on the man, but he suddenly moves, causing her to flee in terror. Lauren returns home and decides to call 911 for assistance, but her brother intervenes at the same time. He expresses that he feels bad for her regarding the money distribution, so he wants to share his part. However, Lauren refuses it, saying money is not important to her. Later that night, Scott approaches her and asks if she's alright, which she confirms. However, Lauren claims that she needs some alone time and sends him and Claire back. She then looks at a childhood photo of herself with her father, which triggers a memory of an argument she had with him. It appears that Archer had asked her to represent their wealthy friends in court, but she declined because she does not defend criminals. The following morning, she decides to go back to the bunker armed with a gun. This time, she notices the man sleeping, so she quickly takes his fingerprints to find out who he is. During this time, the man opens his eyes, prompting her to run away. A short time later, she returns wearing a mask and questions who he is. He appears to know every detail about her, including her birthday, the name of her brother, and even how she got married against her father's wishes. Convinced, she removes her mask and asks him again about his identity. The man tells her that he feels like a family member after being held captive for so long. He asks if she's a good person, and when she confirms, he tells her to release him, as that's what a good person does. However, Lauren believes that he did something
You
to
cut
earn
yourself
his
again?
confinement. She tries to figure out
Holly!
what's going on, but the man first
is it bad?
juicy steak, potatoes, Caesar salad, Goldwater cigarettes,
Yeah, you just made me cut
and a
myself.
30-year-old bottle of scotch.
I grabbed my penis
He also
hard.
adds that it would be preferable if he could shave. Lauren threatens to leave him to rot, but he's unaffected and responds that her conscience will not allow her to do so. Knowing he has the upper hand, she decides to meet his demands and gives him a razor before leaving. When Lauren gets home, she sent
You okay?
What does it take to be the nation's #1 cancer center? It takes some special.
This is what can happen when an overprotective dad is a police officer. In this disturbing dashcam video, the cop pulls a car over. Inside the vehicle are his daughter and her boyfriend.
I'm going to jail.
For no good reason, he detains the boyfriend.
This is my car.
Then he puts his own daughter in the back of his cruiser. Let me out of the car! 8-year-old Caitlin Kovac started dating Makai Coleman in high school. But Caitlin's dad, Patrolman John Kovac of the Lorain, Ohio Police Department, disapproved of the relationship, calling the boyfriend, quote, not a good person. But no one expected this.
I'm going to jail. Get out. This is my car. We'll make up as we go.
Yet, he pulled over the young man and ordered him into the police cruiser. Only then did he realize his daughter was in the backseat of the boyfriend's car.
I didn't even see you. Get out of the car. Get my car.
The cop tells the boyfriend he can go.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
And puts his daughter in the backseat instead.
How about I try to find a ride to
The
you?
cop claims he was concerned that his daughter was suicidal because she once said, if I
No.
can't be with him, I don't want to be here anymore.
She said she was going to kill herself.
Patrolman Kovac, a 26-year veteran of the force, was fired after supervisors determined he violated police department standards of conduct. I spoke to Inside Edition security consultant Steve Cardian, a former police academy instructor.
Steve, your reaction to the police officer in this video?
Clearly, he let the emotional part take over the police officer's job. I lost that.
The police union is appealing the firing.
Okay. Well, let me try to find a way to you Wednesday evening. Okay. Stop it. Let me work some things out. Thank you, Brady. Alright, love it.
Last week, I delved here into recent data from the CDC suggesting major problems with regard to the mental health of our adolescents. Surges in depression, suicidal ideation, especially true for our girls.
You know when you cut and take your time. You cut yourself 8 times. Like
from the hill, it caught my eye. Most young men are
I
single.
wouldn't even cut shit no more if I was you.
Are not.
The fuck?
The story reported that as of 2022, Pew Research Center found 30% of U.S. adults are neither married, living with a partner, nor engaged in a committed relationship. Nearly half of all young adults are single. Now, look at these numbers. 34% of women, twice as many, a whopping 63% of men. What explains that? I pulled the Pew study and I read it. Turns out since 2019, the share of single men who say they're looking for dates or a relationship has declined from 61% to 50%. In 2018, 28% of men ages 18 to 30 reported they'd had no sex in the past year, compared with 18% of women of that age. The Hill report said men in their 20s are more likely than women in their 20s to be romantically uninvolved, sexually dormant, friendless, and lonely. They stand at the vanguard of an epidemic of declining marriage, sexuality, and relationships that afflicts all of young America. Among the causes, among the factors, a reliance on social media and online porn. But also, more young women are hooking up with each other or dating and marrying slightly older men, and heterosexual women are getting more choosy. Other troubling statistics about men come from a 2021 study from the Survey Center for American Life. They found the share of men who have 6 or more close friends, which in 1990 was 55%, by 2021 had shrunk by half. Meanwhile, those with literally 0 close friends, which stood at 3% in 1990, has zoomed to 15%. An expert quoted by the Hill said this disconnect can have catastrophic consequences for young men. Quote, in the worst case scenario, the young American man's social disconnect can have tragic consequences. Young men commit suicide at 4 times the rate of young women. Younger women are largely responsible for rising rates of mass shootings, a trend that some researchers link to their growing social isolation. Well, those words reminded me of a conversation that I had over a year ago right here on CNN with NYU professor Scott Galloway.
I've always had trouble with my weight.
Now with Wegovy, I've seen real change. I've lost weight.
Okay.